Greetings, Quester, and welcome to the Quest Report with Matt and Richard.
So welcome to the Quest Report. Today we are talking about Total Rickall, which is a card game, and it's based on, well, it is a Rick and Morty game, but it's not just a Rick and Morty game, it is one from a particular episode of Rick and Morty, which is from Series 2. And yeah, it's one called Total Rickall, and this is where there are alien parasites. What does it say on the back of here? Disgusting alien parasites have infested the Smith house.
Yeah.
So
the house is on lockdown.
yeah. Wasn't the first one Uncle Steve or something? Yeah, it was on the episode where he's just sitting at the dinner table, and then Victor shoots him in the head because there's no such thing as an Uncle Steve. And he's one of the ones that we've got. So basically what happens on this game is there will be 6 characters which are in a grid on the table, and they will be face up so you can see who they are. They're also different colours as well. I forgot to mention this before, but they are either red, blue or green. And that just has an effect on which cards you can use against them or...
Yeah, because the idea is that we're going to be trying to get rid of these parasites, and to do that, everything revolves around the action cards that you play, and some of them will only let you target specific colour characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we have these identity cards which are underneath them, and these will be face down. Most of them say parasite, so a lot of the ones that we're going to be shooting throughout the game are going to be parasites, but some of them are real.
Is this is it 6 real and 24 parasites? There's I think there's like a 75% chance, isn't there, that a character that enters play is going to be a parasite?
Yeah, but you better be sure one's going to be a parasite if you shoot it, because you don't want this to happen.
No.
Where Mr. Poopy Butthole got shot, and it was tragic. So yeah, he turned out to be real in the program, and in the game, any of them can turn out to be real. There's no way of knowing really. And you can use, what you do is you each have 3 action cards that are dealt at random. You play them all simultaneously onto the table in front of you.
Play a card and draw a card when you see.
It's like programming, like in Room 25 really, but you just have the one card for it, and then you take a card to replace the one you used, and then we all reveal simultaneously which card we used, and then starting with the first player, whoever's got this token, go around and kind of do what's on the card. The cards are generally the characters from the program, aren't they? So there's the Summer one, there's the Rick one, there's Morty, there's Beth. Beth is mostly shooting things, and Jerry.
Yeah, you don't be a Jerry.
Don't be a Jerry. And on the Sleepy Gary card it says that you can't shoot him if Jerry's on the table, so he won't let you shoot Sleepy Gary. And but there's also a few cards that are like phrases that were said during the episode as well. Like there's the "I've known you for 15 years," stuff like that. So basically, you'll have a few of these cards, and you can choose which one to put down. Now, one thing is that if you shoot a real character,
there are penalties for shooting a real character.
A new one turns up straight away. A new character, so you end up with basically more than you would have had before,
because you get one at the end of each round anyway. So if you shoot
maybe
one or two
if
you shoot 1 or 2 real characters, you're gonna suddenly have a whole host of new characters by the end of that round.
We did.
And also, you lose a card from your hand.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Which means that you're then permanently at a disadvantage for the rest of the game.
So you're choosing between 2 cards instead of 3.
You shot twice. I shot 2 real characters in one game, didn't I? Which meant that I was down to 1 card. So
you just had the 1 card to play, and you had no choice whatsoever in what you did. There's quite a lot of these character cards, because the picture on the front of the box is of the bit like halfway through where
it's like a weird Where's Wally, isn't it?
Well, yeah, where Rick suddenly went, "Hey, it's like Where's Waldo? Can you see me?" He looks quite happy on the front there. But basically, all the characters that kind of turned up, there has been a card for them on this, so it's nice and thematic from the episode.
And they are so zany, aren't they? Those characters. So
yeah,
I think
Cyborg.
even if you didn't know the episode, you'd look at some of these cards and you'd laugh or smile because how ridiculous some of these characters
I was just
are.
laughing at Pencil Vesta because Vic seemed to like him so much, didn't he? And he couldn't shoot him. It's like there's that card saying you can't shoot me. Yeah,
he does like Pencil Vesta.
Yeah, and then he says, "No, you're right. I can't shoot Pencil Vesta." Yeah, he tells Morty to do it instead, doesn't he, or somebody else.
I think the thing is as well. I think if you've not seen the show, you'll probably be looking at some of these characters, some of these cards, going, "Well, surely they could figure out that this character isn't a real member of their family." But if you have seen the show, you know that these characters visited some real weird, zany universes and realities.
Yeah.
So they're actually not that weird compared to some of the people they've actually met and interacted with
Not really.
on their adventures.
There's no bird person.
No.
And
there should be a bird person.
and it turned out that Mr. Poopy Butthole was real. So
Yeah.
really, what are the rules?
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a laugh playing it. Similar to the Archer game, I thought, in that it's quite simple. I mean, this is a lot more complicated than the Archer game.
Yeah.
But still, you felt more like you're having a laugh with your friends rather than having to think loads about what you're actually doing in the game. Yeah, you're just picking between 3 cards that you've got and trying to decide whether some of the characters are real or not. And in some ways, it's just chance, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's quite exciting actually when you when we've already shot like 3 real ones, and if you shoot a 4th one, then we all lose.
Yeah.
And yeah, and your only option is to you have a card where you have to shoot a character and then just
You're
basically
kind of
see if they're
hoping
real
that
or
you
not.
pick the right character to shoot at. Because
Yeah.
I say you can, if you've got the right cards, you can use a turn to sort of look at a character and see, is this one real, is this one not, and then hopefully use next turn to shoot the parasite.
Yeah.
But if you haven't got the cards to play, then you sometimes you're literally firing blind, aren't you?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because you start off, as Richard says, with those 6 characters, and you've no idea at the start who's real, who isn't. But you're trying to get to a point where all the parasites have gone, so you can call it that. And you kind of have a vote and go, okay, we think everybody's real now. And if you turn over those identities, if there's a single parasite left, then you've lost and the parasites have won. And that becomes even more interesting in the advanced mode, because what we've been talking about so far is the standard mode of play. Now the advanced mode is still, the mechanics are all the same, aren't they? But it just throws a new element into it.
Because we're best friends with one of them.
Yeah, it's kind of like a hidden identity role, but it's not your hidden identity per se, is it? Because you have a character that you're deeply attached to, like maybe Jerry and Sleepy Gary.
Or Rick and Pencil Vesta.
And the character that's dealt to you will be dealt a hidden identity, just the same as the ones on the table. And you're the only one that gets to look at that. So you look at that and say, okay, this person I've got this deep connection to is either real or a parasite, and based on their allegiance will determine your allegiance for the game. So if you get dealt a parasite, you're going to be trying to help the parasites survive the game. Now, it won't necessarily mean that you'll be going out to shoot the real characters. You might be playing the game very much the same as everybody else, because all you need is one parasite to survive. And if the easiest way to do that is to keep the one that you're connected to alive, and just keep shooting the parasites on the table.
You can't do anything about it if somebody shoots it.
No, you can't stop that. You did. You shot my friend, and it took a while for me to come to terms with that and to forgive you, Richard.
I was friends with Frankenstein, and he takes 2 shots to kill them.
Yeah.
So that was quite good, actually.
And if you are friends with a parasite, and that parasite gets shot, you sort of come to your senses, so to speak. You don't get dealt a new friend and a new character. You just sort of come to senses and accept that you're real and your friend wasn't, and you're on the side of the real ones for the rest of that game.
Yeah,
that's
what happens. Yeah.
And again, you deal. You draw 6 cards in the advanced mode, 4 real identities and 2 parasite identities, and those are shuffled and dealt.
We were all real.
Yeah. Eventually, I think I was a parasite at one point in one of the games.
But I shot it.
Yeah, you shot it and then I became real. So at the start of the game, there's always that chance of having a parasite dealt. And again, it's a light traitor mechanic. But again, it just makes that little bit more fun, and we're kind of like looking at each other going, are you on the parasite side or are you on the real side?
A little bit, but not much, because...
Enough for Richard to shoot my character.
Well... We had to find out some way if it was
Yeah.
a parasite, didn't we, really? So.
And
I
the
wasn't
cards.
suspicious of you though, because I thought you'd be doing the same thing just if it was a parasite. I think the traitor mechanic is very, very light in that.
Yeah. And as I say, you've got the same penalties if you shoot somebody's hidden identity.
Yeah.
That if they are real, you still have those penalties to play, don't you?
Yeah. Basically, overall, I think it's the theme of this game that made it good. I think if it had a different one, it wouldn't really be very great.
No.
But the episode is so funny, and the cards and the way it's played is so much like the episode that I think that's what makes this game really.
But do you think then, that being the case, that if somebody wasn't familiar with this episode, or perhaps even didn't like Rick and Morty, because there are some Jerrys out there,
Yeah.
they might not like Rick and Morty.
I
Do
don't
you think
think-
if someone didn't like Rick and Morty, that they would not like the game?
Probably not. Because
Yeah?
you have to be right sourpuss, wouldn't you? Not
Yeah.
to like Rick and Morty. So.
I think Rick and Morty's got quite a zany humour to it, so not everybody's going to like Rick and
Yeah, but
Morty.
it's
In the
clever.
same way, not
It's
everyone's going to
clever
like.
as well.
Yeah, in the same way, not everyone's going to like Archer. Now with the Archer game, I think I could play that with people and they would still
Yeah, you
enjoy
can
it
still
if they
have
didn't
fun
like.
with the Archer game.
But with this, I agree with you. I think you do need to have some familiarity with the Rick and Morty, and to be able to enjoy it to an extent, to be able to like this game.
Not necessarily.
Because
necessarily.
I think,
just
as you say,
that-
the theme's quite light if you don't like that, because it's
No. It's only the traitor mechanic that's light. I think the theme's really strong because it is basically just doing the episode,
Yeah.
and the characters are crazy.
yeah. What I mean is that
The mechanics light.
the mechanics are light, and the theme is quite. Yeah, I say it is heavily from that episode. There's nothing in it that's not in that episode. So if you don't like the show, then I don't think you'd probably enjoy this game. But I think if you like the show, or you like that kind of humour in general, then you probably would still enjoy the game.
I just think if it was the same game with a different theme, it wouldn't be any good. That's basically. I think it's only because of the theme that it's good.
The theme works well for this game. Now, I got this game from the Amazon.com website because it was a lot cheaper than buying it from Amazon.co.uk. I think if you buy this locally, it can be like 40 quid, but on Amazon.com you can get it for like less than £13 delivered, and there's no fees for that. So it is, if you're going to get it, the better way to go about it. But as a light game and a quick game, I quite enjoyed this, but I think I would always want to play the advanced mode.
Yeah. Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah. So that's Rick and Morty Total Rickall card game. Don't be a Jerry. Try it out.
I think they should make one for every Rick and Morty episode. not necessarily card games. Some of them could be massive board games.
Yeah.
It could be like the Battery Universe. I don't know what would be Twilight Imperium. I don't know which episode that would be. Probably the one where Rick was fighting the whole government or something.
The Galactic Empire.
Yeah, maybe.
The Council of Ricks. It could be a Council of Ricks deck building game.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Yeah.
How many Ricks can you have in a deck?
Yeah, and that one that's really, really weird between the Rick and the other Rick.
I quite like
Rickest
the
Rick.
the Rickest Rick with the evil Morty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we are. So there's a lot more potential for Rick and Morty games then, and me and Richard will play them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely.
Farewell, Quester. To find out about other productions by the Meddlesome Meeples, then check out our channel or rendezvous with us at meddlesomemeeples.com. Until next time, Quester, farewell and keep thine axe sharp.